Hi readers, we're going to read a story called The Bossy Pig. This is from Fountas and Pinnell's Level Literacy Instruction Materials, and the publisher of those books has given us permission to read this book together online until the end of June. I'm going to share this book with you. Sometimes when you're reading a fiction book, the problem is caused by certain events or misunderstandings between characters. Um, they're just, it's not that they're bad characters, there's just these little mistakes that are made. And sometimes the characters do cause the problem because of certain traits that they have or their actions. They choose to do certain things that cause a problem. And this story is called The Bossy Pig. So you can already probably predict that this character is bossy and might cause quite a few problems. Think to yourself what the word bossy means. You might think of some synonyms. Those are words that mean the same thing but sound different. You might think of other characters you know that are bossy. Okay, and then let's go ahead and open up. Here is a picture of a picnic. And so in this story, the characters are getting ready to go on a picnic. Okay, Bossy Pig is thinking about what to put in the picnic basket, and here are all the characters. And they all look, except for Goat, they all look kind of wide-eyed. They are waiting for the Bossy Pig's directions. Okay, so let's start this story and read about the problem and the solution that happened in The Bossy Pig. Here we go. Ready? Read with me. We will have a picnic on Saturday, Mrs. Pig told her friends. You must come. Okay, so what is she doing that is so bossy? Well, she doesn't invite her friends, does she? She tells them, you must come. She tells them what they're going to do and that they have to be there. Okay, look, old cow looks surprised. Horse is maybe worried. I think Goat seems skeptical. This says table, 6 chairs, juice, plates. Here we go, read with me. Mrs. Pig made a list. I want a table and 6 chairs, said Mrs. Pig. I want some juice and some plates. She was a very bossy pig. Okay, what is she doing that is bossy? Okay, now Sheep is thinking about a blanket. So here we go, read with me. I can bring a blanket, said Mrs. Sheep. A blanket is not on my list, said Mrs. Pig. You bring the table. All right, said Mrs. Sheep. Read with me. Mrs. Pig looked at her list. You bring 6 chairs, she told Mrs. Goat. All right, said Mrs. Goat. What is Cow thinking about? Milk. It's probably easy for Cow to bring milk. Okay, read with me. I can bring some milk, said Mrs. Cow. Milk is not on my list, said Mrs. Pig. You bring some juice. She was such a bossy pig. Okay, Horse is thinking about the plates. Here we go, read with me. Mrs. Pig looked at her list again. We need plates, she told Mr. Horse. I will bring plates, said Mr. Horse. Ready? Read with me. I know what I can bring, said Mrs. Owl. Don't bring anything, said Mrs. Pig. We have everything we need. But I know something else we need, said Mrs. Owl. So what do they still need for their picnic? And I wonder what Owl is thinking about. Are you an owl thinking about the same thing? They're missing something. Okay, read with me. All the animals came to the picnic. They played games. Mrs. Cow flew a kite. Stop playing, said Mrs. Pig. Put the table under that big tree, said Mrs. Pig to Mrs. Sheep. Mrs. Owl will help you. Read with me. Set up the chairs, said Mrs. Pig to Mrs. Goat. Set the table, she told Mrs. Cow and Mr. Horse. What? Okay, what's happening? What are they thinking about? Bossy Pig thought of some things they need, but not everything. Read with me. Mrs. Pig looked at her list one last time. That's it, she said. Now, please sit down. When she says that's it, she means that we're done. We're ready for a picnic. Ready? Read with me. Where is the food? Asked Mrs. Goat. The food? Asked Mrs. Pig. Oh dear, I forgot the food. Mrs. Owl smiled. You forgot the food, she said, but I didn't. Read with me. You are a wise, wise owl, said the bossy pig. Now, let's eat. Okay. So think to yourself what the bossy pig did that was bossy. And why do you think she is bossy? Why do you think she behaves that way? And what was the problem in this story? They didn't have food for their picnic. And can you think of why they had that problem? What caused that problem? And the solution was Owl chose for herself what to bring, and Owl paid attention to what Pig was telling everyone else to bring. That was good listening. Owl did a nice job paying attention. Okay, which character would you want to be and why? Just think to yourself. All right. I think we've all had moments when we are like Pig, and we've all had moments when we are like Owl, and we've all had moments when we're like the other characters too, haven't we? All right, nice job reading. Remember, if you want to go back to the beginning of the video, you can mute the sound and read the book on your own. Great job practicing, and I'll see you next time.